y'all, welcome back to Sparrow's Nest Farm. It's bright out here this morning. Woo! You haven't heard from me too much recently. I've still been here, still been working on stuff, just more everyday stuff than farmy stuff. But that all changes today. It is time to winterize the chicken coop and get the girls all ready to go. And we've been trying to do a little bit of yard cleanup, just because it got a little junky over the summer with the other projects, and we want to remedy that, and things are kind of in the way. So let me show you what we're going to work on first this morning. So the first thing we're going to work on is these two piles of wood here. This is from when we demoed our deck and rebuilt it this spring. You can see the new deck up there. This is the old deck. And we are saving this wood because on a homestead you just never know when something is going to be useful. As you can see, Whit got the Jeep into the garage yesterday. I don't know if you've seen that video yet or not, but there it is. And the garden, I will probably do just a whole video on a garden update. Today we're going to focus on this, and we're going to move all this wood out of here and mow that down and set up the electric fence again, because these guys haven't been out in probably a week, and the part of the reason they haven't been out is because of that. I don't know how well you can see it from here. Oh, calm down. They tore that tarp up. I came out one night to lock them up, and they were all roosted in that spot on top of their coop. I could find no reason for them to be up there. There weren't any predators or anything like that. So we went to get them down, and of course it's far too high for me to reach them without using something. So I grabbed, I think it was a picker for apple trees, for high-hanging fruit, and I started gently pushing, and they weren't budging. So Whit grabbed the rake, the yard rake, and he started pushing, and obviously that was more successful, but in their panic they just tore that completely up. So we pulled up the electric fence that's been out here, and I'm going to change the way that's oriented so that they don't have access, hopefully, to up here, and they won't do that again. Another thing we're going to work on today is putting the big tarp over the coop that will go from bottom on this side to bottom on the other side to give them more shelter. And we'll see what else I have time for. It's supposed to rain for like a week straight after this, so I really need to at least get that done. Excuse me. Winter is coming. Are you girls prepared? No. We'll have to work on that. So the first thing we need to do in order to do this project is actually clean out this space under the deck here. Partly because it's going to make moving the wood into its semi-permanent home a lot easier, and partly because we're going to be putting mowers in there. Sorry, I got distracted. You know, it's a little bit chilly today, but not too bad. So I went ahead and pulled out my favorite Lucky sweater. It's actually not mine. Well, it is now. I stole it 14 years ago, and I'm not giving it back. It was one of the first things that I claimed that was his. It even has air conditioning in the arm. Air conditioning's important. Alright, so Whit's already started. I'll join him. We'll get this area cleaned up and start moving some wood.
This area has always been kind of a catch-all for the outdoor stuff that we haven't dealt with yet. Guess it's time to deal with it.
There's a mouse trap. As you could probably see, we've got a whole pile full of metal scrap that we really need to haul away, but I don't think it's happening until spring at least.
Cheap stuff.
Gonna test my lumberjacking skills. I am Jen. Hear me pant from the effort.
So these are all beams, and well, these are the planks from this deck when we tore it apart. And on top of this, we're going to lay some of the beams that were still good, because we can still use them for other projects. These were pretty much junk. They're falling apart, but they will protect the good wood.
Okay. We got the majority of the deck boards under here. All that's really left is a bunch of little bits and pieces that I think we're just gonna throw in the trash. And now it is ready for the good boards, but we're gonna take a break first and have a little lunch and, you know, catch our breath. See you in a minute. All right, guys, so I ran out of room on my phone, so we had to plug it in and download all the videos so that I could continue. And while we were at it, we just went ahead and kept working because we were running out of daylight and needed to get done. As you can see, we put the heavy-duty tarp over the coop. We are still going to put plywood over these spaces here and over the door, as well as on the back where it's open. Hold on, there we go. On the back where it's open there, we'll also get some plywood. We aren't going to do that quite yet because we've still got enough days that'll be nice enough before we really need to close them in. And I want to take advantage of that. So we put the fence back up, and they've got some spent hay out there. It was a hay bale that I had sitting around for another project, and it was just definitely too far gone for what I had in mind for it by the time I got around to it. So they can pick through it and get the bugs out and spread it around. There's also, I had a bag of old pine shavings that had gotten wet, so it needed to be spread out so that it could dry, and I'm just going to let them peck through that, and they'll spread that around the yard too. They are really happy to be back out. As you can see, we got all of this cleaned up, and Whit went over it with the push mower to kind of take down some of the weeds. It definitely looks a lot better. We're very happy that we got that done today. It's needed to be done for a while, but with everything going on, we just haven't had the time. So it's nice to have that taken care of. This is just a whole bunch of various scrap. The farm cart isn't scrap, but a lot of what's in it is either scrap or things we're not using right now. We're using the old TJ tub to store some scrap bits of wood that need to have nails removed, or pieces that are too small to really go in storage, but we're not sure what we're doing with it yet. In these buckets are a lot of scrap nails and screws, mostly left over from the deck project from this spring. This is our old dryer that died on us, and that needs to be hauled away. And this is all scrap metal from the TJ project and my old wheelbarrow. So all of that will get hauled away hopefully in the spring, except for the wood. I think we'll have to just figure out what to do with that. And then over here we got this area all cleared out. So this is completely cleared up back here, and it's been a little while since we've had the time to really get in and get all that done, so it feels nice. We've got this cleared out, and it's being used as winter storage. We've got the lawnmowers in here, and then all of that wood that was over there is now stacked under here where it's a little more protected, and we can see what we have so that we can use it. All right, so one thing about this tarp, we bought a 12 by 16 heavy duty tarp with D-rings for the connections, or at least we thought it was 12 by 16. So on this side, it was exactly the right length where we needed it. And on this side, it sits right where we needed it. On this side, it's not quite 12 feet. So it's a little short over here, which that's okay. It'll be just a little bit of ventilation. It'll be fine. I'm not worried about that. And then I want to show you, those are something else. Don't pay attention to those. So over here, it's a little more than 16 foot. So I had to put a board down, and I actually need to get another board to finish holding that down. So when you buy a tarp, don't assume that the size on the package is the actual size that you're getting. Lesson learned. All right, so that was a very big project. We are very, very glad it's done. I am so happy to have my birds have access to outside again. I've never liked having them totally cooped up, and I think they're happier as well. So, with having said that, I'm exhausted. I'm done for tonight. Y'all take care. God bless. So y'all probably heard me mention on the one of the recent Libertas videos that I had come up with a solution to the fact that when I'm holding the camera I tend to shake. So this is my solution, and Whit helped because he put the clamp on there so that it would stay, otherwise it was kind of flopping over. But it's perfect, it rolls, and it makes it so that the camera is at a nice angle for recording.